But tonight, Channel 4 News can reveal that rebel forces could be behind the latest atrocity in the Syrian civil war and not pro-government militia, as was reported earlier this week. The alleged massacre took place in the western Alawite section of Aqrab, northwest of Homs in the north of Syria. Several hundred villagers, who were all Alawites, the same sect as President Assad, were reportedly crammed into a large house after rebels attacked the town on the 2nd of December. The rebel version of events is very different. They say government militia imprisoned and killed up to 250 people. Our chief correspondent, Alex Thompson, is the first independent journalist to get into the area. He's spoken to eyewitnesses who escaped the town and has this exclusive report.
Into the Badlands of central Syria, where some of the worst massacres of this war have taken place. A wrong turn here can mean being arrested, kidnapped, or worse. So an escort's vital. We're told to follow one car and then another. A journey of a few miles direct takes almost an hour. Finally, we reach Aqrab, a small place, 9,000 Sunni, 2,000 Alawite. We spoke to 3 people who'd escaped the town, all are Alawite, speaking in government areas. All spoke completely separately, in different places. None knew we'd interviewed the others, and no government official was present. Their stories corroborate each other in detail, as do those of many others we spoke to off camera. They completely contradict the version of Aqrab which has gone global, largely from rebel war propaganda websites. All sides agree Aqrab was attacked by rebels on Sunday, December the 2nd, but our eyewitnesses say Sunni rebels took hundreds of Alawite civilians as prisoner.
They had long beards, and sometimes you couldn't quite understand what they said. They were not dressed in the normal way.
At that point, gunfire from the direction of Aqrab forced us to move. All say the rebels came from the direction of Al-Hula, just 5 miles over these hills at the edge of town. It's the site of a massacre of 108 people in May, and it is a rebel stronghold.
They were wearing black ski masks. They took our phones and car keys. They forced us out of our homes and set fire to them. I hope God burns them like they burned our homes.
Hundreds of Alawites escaped the fighting to surrounding villages, but our witnesses say up to 500 were held prisoner by rebels after the attack. Held here in this red building where officials believe hundreds may still be held, and they're trying to get them free.
We would ask for food and they wouldn't give us food. Other villages would send us food, but they would take it for themselves and not give it to us. We asked for water, they wouldn't give us water. The little children with us started crying for food and water, so the mothers had to beat the children to silence them because they asked for food and water too much.
They tried to convince us to hand over the women, to take them to Al-Hula. We didn't do that because we didn't trust them.
It went on for 9 days, and then from across town on Monday came a delegation including Aqrab's mayor and the imam. They wanted to try and free the women and children.
We said either we all go out together, including the sheikh and the mayor, or we all die together.
In the early hours of Tuesday morning, they all separately described 3 truckloads of prisoners somehow making it out along the road to Tauna village and safety. A 4th truck left, but never made it to the village. That truck went to rebel-held Al-Hula instead, and there, an unnamed woman and boy, apparently speaking under duress, told rebels that pro-government militias, not the rebels, took them prisoner. Fighting prevented us entering Aqrab, but from where we stood we could see that the house everybody said they were kept in appears intact, as does much of the town. Further, rebel YouTube postings from December the 2nd, the date of the assault, make no mention of hundreds of prisoners here. Why ignore a propaganda coup day after day? And why after Tuesday are there no pictures of the bodies or burials on rebel postings? There are in effect then 2 stories here. First of all, it's corroborated by both sides that a large number of civilian Alawite villagers were taken prisoner in Aqrab. They were held and then a number at least were released. But what happened after that? If there was a massacre, how did it happen? Who did it? And why? At the town hall in Hama, the nearest city, officials said they were negotiating to end the prisoners' ordeal. They say it's still going on. They believe the imam and the mayor and many others have been killed. The only independent witnesses to make it to the prisoners were the Red Crescent, and they have declined to speak to us for some days. Today there was more fighting in the town, and when we visited, the call to prayer echoed eerily over a largely deserted town. There are people on the streets, we could see them. Rebels perhaps, but who knows? Aqrab still holds its secrets. Alex Thompson, Channel 4 News, Aqrab.
تختصر دموع هذه الطفلة السورية مشهد بلدة عقرب، البلدة التي تقع بين طرطوس وحماة ولم تسلم من نيران الأزمة السورية. عقرب سلط عليها الضوء إعلاميا خلال الأيام الماضية بعد حديث عن مجزرة طالت فئة من سكانها بسبب انتمائهم الطائفي. هي إذن الحرب بكل بشاعتها شوهت أحلام الأطفال ولم تجعلهم يفضلون سوى اللون الأسود.
كنا بالمدرسة بعقرب بس هلق وين في مدارس؟ هلق طلعنا لهون ما في مدرسة على السوا، ما في قراي، شو بدنا نعمل؟
القرية محاصرة، لذلك لا يمكن الوصول إليها، فتوجهت كاميرا الميادين إلى القرى المجاورة لعقرب. إلى هنا لجأ سكان عقرب هربا من الحصار. ماذا فعل الحصار بهم؟
زنجة اللي بنزل فيها الجلي والله بيحطوها تحت الشتاء وبينقطوا بتم أطفال رضع والله العظيم. ما عم يوصل شيء، لا غذاء لا شيء، عم يشعل الدواليب داخل إطار مبنى وعم يخنقون من دخان، ولا مي ولا أكل ولا شرب. يمكن 3/4 الناس كلها ماتت. إشارات اللي على شعر البنات يفرشوها تحت المطر بس لينقطوا بتم الطفل الرضيع. 25 طفل يا حسراتي هنا ماتوا أبابا جوا محاصرين على حب الزيتون، كل طفل بينقوا حبة حبة كلنا.
ما هي قصتهم؟ معظمهم غادر عقرب بعد حصار البلدة ليبقى فيها نحو 500 من الطائفة نفسها. 500 احتجزوا رهائن لتبدأ بعدها المفاوضات لإطلاق سراحهم. 4 من قادة المعارضة المسلحة مقابل المدنيين. على 4 دفعات اتفق الطرفان للإفراج عن المدنيين وقادة المعارضة المسلحة التي حاصرتهم. 100 مدنيين مقابل قائد واحد. أفرج عن 300 ليحصل ما لم يتوقعه الأهالي ويختفي 200 مدني سوري.
فجأة هجم عليهم العصابات من الحوري ومن عقرب مسلحين، تركنا بيوتنا طالعين، حرقوها نهبوها، يعني بقينا 200 إنسان هناك. بقوا هلا حاليا 200. طلع كم واحد منهم والبقية وين راحوا فيهم ما بنعرف.
لا أحد يعلم مكانهم الآن، ولا أحد يعلم ما هي أوضاعهم الصحية والنفسية، ما هو مصيرهم. سؤال يترك للأيام المقبلة والتطورات اللاحقة.
هاي مشكلتنا. كل أنواع الأسلحة عندهم.